All right, well, first of all, hello, and thank you for everyone who's joined us today. I'm going to try to save this so that I can put it on my feed and hopefully share it with you in an IGTV format. But welcome to Fifth Tip Tuesday in a whole new format. I'm excited. And I would like to introduce you, Emily from Leasing, if you would like to give a little brief intro on yourself and how you got caught up in this undergarment world that we both love.
Absolutely. So many years ago, 14 years ago, I found myself searching for a bra that fit. At the time to go under my wedding dress, but that quickly evolved into what was supposed to be a short-term job. Ended up with a couple of years of working at a really great bra store in Colorado, and then separate career took me in other directions. But I always used to go back to bra fitting. And so 5 years ago, my sister and I quit our career track jobs. I did natural gas pipeline permitting, and we decided to open our own store, Leasing in Buffalo, New York, so that we can help women feel better about themselves. That's our whole mission, is to help you feel better about yourself. And our mechanism to do that is bras.
I love that. And how did you educate yourself on bras? Like, how did you get all this bra knowledge? I guess more recently, especially with the store. Yeah.
So I learned a lot of my basic fitting through Soul, which is the store in Colorado that I used to work for. They are our mentors and our dearest friends at this point. And they are the technique that I learned through them, which is now the technique that I've taught all of our employees, is really hands-on fitting. And so you learn it as you go. I mean, we go through a very extensive training process, but then a lot of it, you learn it through different iterations, through different experiences of working with different people. There's not a uniform manual for bra fitters. I have not done formal training where I get a certificate, mostly because there aren't any that are going to provide a level of detail and content that that would really elevate the fitting training for me. But then another huge resource is all the other store owners. So if I run into a situation that I really don't know how to handle, I now have contacts all around North America who I can reach out to and say, hey, how do you do this thing?
That's amazing. So I'm going to add on top of that later, but I do want to say I didn't realize that about your wedding dress experience. So the whole reason why I kind of got caught up in me talking about undergarments so much on my platform started from my undergarment journey with my wedding dress. And that to date is my #1 most visited blog post on my website, is my experience with undergarments in weddings. Yeah. So that's so funny. I didn't realize we had that in common.
Yeah, I went to that blog post recently because you were in Mexico, and so I couldn't text you, and I needed to find something for a customer that we didn't have in the store. And so I went to carolynmoran.com and I found the links.
I love that. So we got a bunch of questions from you gals. Yeah. I appreciate you sending them all in. I wrote them all down this morning and I kind of organized them so that we can have a nice little flow here. I'm going to ask you the majority of the questions, but if I feel like I need to, I'll add on top of that. But you are like the real expert here. So I'm going to lean on you to answer most of this. So let's get it started. Question number 1, very frequently asked question: how do you know if your bra actually fits? A lot of us are sitting home right now. There's a lot of bras on sale. There's things going on. We're like, oh my gosh, our bras. We finally have the time to focus on bras. How do we even know if it fits or not?
Sure. So the biggest thing, if your bra fits properly, it shouldn't bother you during the day. It's like a crock pot where you set it and forget it. Right? You put on your bra in the morning and then it shouldn't move and shift around on your body. If your bra is moving and shifting, it's not fitting properly. So that's like the #1 easiest thing to keep in mind. And then there are kind of 2 fit tips that I always fall back on when I do what I call bra fitting 101. Your band should be coming straight back from your under bust line. So from here, it should be coming straight back. It should not be trending up at all in the back. And then your underwire should fit like a picture frame around your breast tissue. It's not sitting below it. It's definitely not sitting on top of it. So if you're looking, if your bra is A, comfortable, B, sitting in one place all day, C, your band is going straight back, and D, your underwire is like a picture frame, you're probably pretty good.
If not,
yeah,
then your bra probably doesn't fit. And I've actually done a video that I will reshare at the end of this, pretty much exactly the 3 points that you hit, 3 ways to know whether or not. And sometimes it's helpful to have that visual because you're like, well, it feels comfortable, but I don't really know. So if you need that visual, happy to share that. Okay, now once your bra is on, what's the best way to adjust it and make sure it's on the right way? Because now I think a lot of people don't realize that you can put a bra on, but you gotta, we have different names for it. What do you call it?
So we call it the boob scoot. So
the boob scoot.
And what I relate it to the most, I talk about shoes all the time in the fitting room. Bras are like shoes, boobs are like feet. You would never ever step on your running shoe and just like run out the door. I mean, my 6-year-old does, and it drives me crazy just watching it. But no, you straighten the tongue, you pull up the heel, and you tie your laces. So same thing when you put your bra on. So what you're going to do, can I just do it?
Yeah.
Is this the part where I take my clothes off? Okay. I mean, I figured that was going to happen.
I've shown this too on my fit tips.
Okay, so every time you put a bra on, when you first put your bra on, your boob is going to be like all over nilly-willy. So if you see, I don't know if you can see sort of here that this is actually breast tissue, fleshy breast tissue here. So what I tell people, like, you know, when you lie down in bed and your breast tissue sort of slumps into your armpits, that it does that when you're standing as well. So when you first put your bra on, what you want to do, hold the near arm out, sort of chicken wing your elbow. You're going to reach all the way across. You're going to pull your breast tissue forward and pull that wire back and up. You want to make sure that the wire is right underneath. I see a lot of women all the time just instinctively pull it down. It doesn't need to be down here. It needs to be right underneath your tissue.
Like a picture frame.
Yep. So you've pulled your breast tissue forward, the wire back and up. And then if you're like, wait, why is this? What's going on right here? So when all else fails, grab it 10 and 2 and just do a little jiggle while you're standing. I don't like this. I don't like the whole bendy over. So while you're standing, jiggle it 10 and 2, and then you'll be centered in the cup.
Nice. That's when we call it the swoop and swoop. So you swoop and then you kind of take that tissue and kind of swoop it like windshield wipers.
There you go. Yep.
Well, thank you for that hands-on tutorial.
You're welcome. I
appreciate it.
Now.
Dedicated to the cause. All right, we'll go on to our next question. Now, does the shape of your breast, the size of your breast, the density of your breast, does it matter when it comes to fitting?
Yeah. It's kind of like we shop for different clothes based on our body type. So you might know that an A-line dress works better on your frame, or pencil skirts will look really great on you or something. So there are different cuts of bras that work better on different sizes, but also on different shapes and sort of composition of breast. We all have a different structure when it comes to the type of tissue, the orientation of like how close set you are you set farther apart? Does your sternum protrude or recess? So there are these different sort of factors we look at. On a broader scale, I know you are a big fan of cut and sewn bras. Hallelujah. So cut and sewn bras, like what I have on today, do not have a foam cup in them. They're always going to be your friend at anything like E-cup and up. But other than that, there are different styles that are going to work on different types of bodies and different types of breasts, but it's not size specific at all. It has much more to do with your own body type, and that's where your bra fitter can come in and help you with finding the right things for your body.
Right. So a question that was coming up frequently is, I have small boobs, what brands do you recommend? I have really large boobs, what brands do you recommend? And I'm always so hesitant to recommend brands, because just because you and I might have similar measurements doesn't necessarily mean what works for me is going to work for you.
Totally. And also, if you look at it from a brand perspective, these brands want to address all the different types of of people, not necessarily in one bra. So we always tell, if we sit with a vendor and they say, this bra is so great from A cup to H cup, I'm like, no, it's not. Because the same bra is not going to work on an A cup and an H cup. It requires different engineering. So, but that doesn't mean that within the same brand, there might be a bra that's amazing on an AB small c, and a different bra that's amazing on a GH. But I agree with you, to recommend one specific brand, no. But always focusing on brands that are fit focused.
Yes, absolutely. And I also would like to shout out, I'm really proud of my community. A lot of them are starting to recognize ads that come up on their social media, and they'll send me pictures of ads of bras that don't fit. So I'm like, don't spend your money there. You know it doesn't fit. Why would you, So I feel proud of the gals that are starting to get it. Yeah, that's really exciting for me.
So as you might imagine, based on algorithms and what I follow, I get all of the bra ads. And I keep seeing this one for a new company, and I just don't understand why you would spend extensive marketing money using imagery where the bra doesn't fit. It's like mind-boggling to me.
So frustrating. But I guess that's kind of where we are in sync, where it's our mission to hopefully educate people to make better informed purchasing decisions.
Yeah, for sure. They're pricey, so like get ones that work as well as they can for you.
Yeah, so speaking of price, I'm going to jump ahead here. Budget-friendly bra recommendations. So obviously, especially in current events, I want to be sensitive to people on budgets. I've always been an advocate of investing in your undergarments. I think it can make a really expensive outfit look cheap in no time. But of course, I want to be aware and cognizant of the current climate, and people aren't the spending habits of undergarments, especially. It's a very overlooked thing. So do you have any tips or tricks to focus on when it comes to budgeting? I will say from my experience, there are always tons of sales, whether it's your local specialty shops or other online retailers. There are sales. I think it's just a matter of timing, and not everybody wants to wait, but I'll let you add to that.
Yeah, for sure. So let me touch on it for a few reasons and kind of talk about the ways that we talk about it in the fitting room, and then I'll sort of shift it to ways to address it outside of my particular store. So bras are an investment, and yes, it will make your clothes look better, your figure look different. So when a bra fits properly, we frequently hear, oh my gosh, I feel like I lost 10 pounds, or I look so much smaller. So there are those aesthetic things. We say you can make a $10,000 dress look horrible, or sort of miss the mark with ill-fitting undergarments, or you can make your $5 Target t-shirt look great with a great bra. So you have those aesthetics things. You also have comfort. So everyone's pretty aware of what shoes will do for your body, right? If you wear flip-flops day in, day out, and you work on a concrete floor, and you're going to end up with like back issues or hip issues and things like that. So it's not infrequent for us to encounter women who, and I'm sure you do, who say, oh, I have back pain from my breasts. And if they then put on a bra that fits them properly, it can alleviate a lot of that. So I wish that every time before someone got a reduction, they went and had a good fitting. And I've actually seen insurance mandate that before. But I've worked with a lot of women who decided not to get a reduction based on a proper fit. Wow. So it actually changes the way you carry yourself. And that's what we say. Like, what we want to do, we want to help you stand up straight, throw your shoulders back, and do whatever your day is about, not worrying about how you're feeling with how your breasts are feeling.
Right.
So in terms of then addressing budget, you get what you pay for in a few different ways. You can pay for a big fancy label. The brands that have big fancy labels actually aren't that popular anymore. So that's sort of going the wayside, but I sort of relate it in jewelry. You can pay for like a little blue box, or you can get the same kind of diamond from a local jeweler, and it costs a lot less because it didn't come in a little blue box. So, but you want to focus on these brands that really put fit first. Yes. And because what you're getting there is you're getting better construction. They have more parts, they have more quality assurance. The underwire channels are lined in foam. The wires are shaped in a different way. So they're designed to not only fit you better, but also last longer. So, but anybody, if you are really budget limited, go back to, Carolyn mentioned one of her fit tip videos. I just recorded one recently that I'm going to get up soon too. But if you take those fit tips and apply them to whatever product you can afford, you will be better.
Yeah.
Don't buy something that doesn't fit just because it's on sale. It will not fit because it's less expensive.
Right.
So just forego and wait until you can get something that actually works for you, and then take care of it the best that you can. So wash it every time or every other time you wear it, and try to rotate through your stock and get the longest life you can out of it.
I love that. So back to people who are, back to fitting questions, I guess. What do you do, or what do you recommend if your breast size fluctuates constantly? So whether that's your time of the month, you know, other hormonal issues, what do you do if you're constantly fluctuating?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are certain people who have a lot of fluctuation within a month. So within their monthly cycle, right before they get their period, their breast size goes up. And I have some customers where they're going up like a full cup size.
Wow. But that's completely normal?
Yes. Yeah. You know, it's not everyone for sure, but is it abnormal? Absolutely not. You're going to have two groups of bras.
Wow.
You know, and so I have some customers who own the same bra in two different sizes. That's very rare. And we actually put like a mark on the tag on one, so they know that like this is the bigger size that fits then. For other people, it'll be like, oh, I'm going to reach for this bra runs a little deeper, or it has a little more give at the top of the cup. So that's
the
the
stretch
one
lace
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's if you're within one, like within a month, and it's something really common. But all women, really, like everyone, our breast size fluctuates over the course of the year. Like, I'm just waiting. Quarantine, am I going to lose 20 pounds? Am I going to gain 50? Like, who knows?
Either way, it's still okay.
Yeah. But I can tell you, I have bras in lots of different sizes, so that there are, and different cuts fit me differently. I never recommend that one person has 7 bras that are exactly the same in the same size.
So that was another question is, I've been fitted. I know my perfect fit size. Does that mean I can just run out to every store and buy that size in every brand?
No. So this is where I relate bras to jeans. So say you go into wherever you like to buy your denim, and in this day and age, you know, one brand is going to have 10 different cuts of denim. And you might try on one cut and you're a 12, and you might try on another cut and you're an 8. And then you try on a third cut, and it doesn't matter how many sizes you try on, it will never, ever fit your body. And we've come to accept this with clothing, right? You know that you're different sizes in different stores. Yet for some reason, we hold bras to different standards, and there are no size standards.
Yes.
So just because,
it's like the wild, wild west, I like to call it.
It's the wild, wild west, but it's the same with all clothing. Like men's clothing is different. Theirs is actually based on a measurement and an inseam. That you'd think with bra fitting sounds so scientific. Like, I'm a 34D. You think that's like an exact measurement? It's not. It's not. You know, I'm a 34D in some brands I'm an E. Like it just depends. So no, even if you know your size, that is your size in one bra from one brand. Yeah.
So that's a couple questions that I wanted to hop back to when it comes to size. A lot of people, I get this question personally a lot, and I would like you officially to debunk the myth and set the record straight. Is it possible to go get fitted if you have uneven or different size breasts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So everyone is different left to right. I can't remember if you said it or someone else, but that they're sisters, not twins.
Yes. Like my eyebrows.
Yes. And our feet, right? Like we all know that one foot's bigger than the other, and this one sticks out in this different way. So everyone is different left to right.
Yes. There's nothing to be ashamed about.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So a few fit tips for that. You always fit to the larger side. So everyone, you always fit to the larger side. You can leave a void in one side, but you don't want to leave a bulge out of one side. Yeah. So you always fit to the larger side. And then If you have a pretty serious size discrepancy, significant size discrepancy, any local specialty store can help you accommodate that. So we have a seamstress on staff, and we can do things like sew a pad in one side. We can take a tuck in the cup in one side. So generally what we do, we're fitting to the larger side, and then we're making an accommodation on the smaller side to even out the side if needed. Most of us,
it's easier to add.
Fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. So just want to reiterate the fact of how common this issue is and how often
Everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
It is.
You heard it here.
Like even if they are surgical breasts, even if they are augmented breasts, they are different because the amount of breast tissue that you started with is different on each side.
Absolutely. Love to hear it. So it's totally normal. Let's go to how many bras should you own? People ask me this all the time, and I'm like, I am not a normal person. I'm not, I have like bins of bras, which is embarrassing, but obviously I work in the industry, so I receive a lot gifted, and also I love them, so I just kind of collect them. But the normal average gal, I mean, what's a good number to strive for?
So you are what we call a collector. So you see
a nice word for hoarder.
No, but it's someone who, just like there are people who, from a very utilitarian perspective, purchase their clothes, and there are other people who really love fashion. So you like bra fashion, and bras are fashion. I also have a pretty extensive collection based on how long I've been doing this. I actually, one of my home projects during this time is to record some different things on bra storage.
Ooh, I love that.
To store your bras. So we say in general, 7 to 10 good everyday bras. And an everyday bra is not a nude t-shirt bra. It is whatever works for your lifestyle and your body on an everyday basis. So if you told me that you had a job where you had to wear a really thin white shirt every day, you have different requirements from sort of the average person who's wearing a variety of different things. But what we look for, some darks, some lights, some fun colors, and then on top of that, some solution pieces. So, a strapless that's the solution piece for most people. I actually put a white t-shirt bra in the strapless the solution bra sort of category. It's serving a very specific need. So what we encourage people to strive for 7 to 10 so that you are able to care for them properly, rotate through. You can sort of, maybe it's a little bit more of an investment up front, and then you can kind of taper off, and then as your bras wear out, you can slowly reintroduce more.
Right.
Bare minimum 3.
Okay.
Figuring if you're wearing them twice a week and doing laundry on the weekend.
Okay.
But then you're going to really cut down your lifespan just because you're wearing them so frequently.
So here's another one, and this is actually something I would kind of struggling with the answer and how to answer this. So maybe you can help me. How do you know when your bras have lived their life? How do you know when it's time to get rid of them? And then as a second question, what do you do with your old bras? Okay.
So there are kind of different ways to look at that. But if we go back to the initial question of how do I know if my bra fits, if those things that we looked for, that band staying nice and low and snug across your back, not shifting around on your body, if those are happening, then your bra's reached end of life. That's so
elastic stretched out.
Yeah. So that's not necessarily something you can see. But that's something we see really commonly in the fitting room, is someone will come in and say, gosh, I loved this bra, but it just doesn't feel that comfortable. I think my size changed. We put the same exact bra and we put a new one on, and they're like, oh my God, this feels amazing. And it's just that bra is stretched out. So
it's more on feeling rather than visual.
Totally.
Okay. I did not know that.
Time ago, I used to think you could kind of look at the tag, and if the letters were starting to wear out, indicator that does not work. There are people with just different oil glands in their skin where that it takes that ink away right away.
Okay.
Goes right away. Mine will say
don't go off of that.
No, not at all. The other thing in a foam cup, you can look for what we call orange peeling. So in a foam always degrades over time, but you will go from having that nice smooth texture to getting this like subtle ripple all the way through the cup. And it can get severe enough that you can actually start to see it through your shirts. And that's just your foam breaking down over time. Nicer foam will last longer.
Okay.
But when that foam starts to break down, that's another good indicator. And I think those are sort of the primary ones that I would look for. What do you do with them? There are some really great broad donation and recycling programs. If you're local to Buffalo, we accept donations all the time. At our store, there's some other, I think Soma do they still do a national broad?
I'm not sure. I think Soma maybe, and then I know Wacol does one. I don't know if I'm getting it confused with one of their fitting events, but
yeah. So there's a really great national non-for-profit called Free the Girls, and they actually they accept donations all the time. And Soma at times has been a broad drop-off location.
Oh, amazing!
Those go overseas, so that helps survivors of the sex trades in 2 countries in Africa and 2 in Central America set up secondhand clothing businesses.
Wow.
Along with everything else, donated discarded clothing is actually like a burden on our system. So when in doubt, buy what fits, take care of it, and try not to go like the fast fashion route.
Right.
We used to work a lot. We used to send all of our donations to Free the Girls. And now we actually just try to work with local non-for-profits and give women in need in our community.
I love that. That's so nice. I have a couple more fit questions, and then I want to get to maternity because that is clearly not my expertise at all. But before we get there, I want to ask one more thing about fit. I've been getting a lot of questions about Under Armour. What does it mean when my underwire pokes my underarm a little bit? And then I've also been getting a lot of questions about what about my straps falling off? What does that mean?
Okay.
I'm thinking that they might be related in answer. That's why I doubled them up.
So they can be. So I'm going to start with the strap question. So
Okay.
there are a couple things where we talked about how there are different bras that work well on different bodies. Some bras have inherently wider set straps, and some bras have what in the fitting world we refer to as a kicked-in strap. If you have you cannot get a bra strap to fall off my shoulders. Like my shoulders go from here to here. But if you are especially a larger breasted, narrow shouldered and sloping shoulders, it's tricky. It becomes really challenging. So then what you're going to want to look for on the back of the bra is a bra that you're going to see it have sort of a U-shaped pattern on the back. We call it ballet back. That will reduce, the band will be wider and then it will draw down in the middle. That mechanism does draw the straps in a bit in the back. But the biggest thing, bands that are too big ride up in the back and the straps fall off. So making sure that your band is nice and snug, and all the strap is doing, it's just making sure that you're maintaining the shape of the cup at the top. It's not lifting the breast tissue. If you try to lift it with your strap, you're just going to pull it up in the back.
So I did a little pop quiz a few weeks ago on bra fitting, and my question was, where are you getting your support from? And my heart almost broke by how many people thought it was the straps.
No.
Not at all. They're like the kind of like the peanut gallery, like cheer squad.
Like 10% maybe?
Yeah.
So what we always say, there are a few like fit guidance things that we look for. So the bulk of your breast tissue should sit halfway between your shoulder and your elbow. It should not be anywhere near your collarbone. Okay. Right? So if I stand up here, you can see elbow, shoulder, my breast tissue is falling right there. So, and what I look for is always like where your boob sticks out the most. Okay. Right? And that's like kind of the bulk of your tissue.
Mine's closer to my elbow.
Take my shirt off for you again. So now what you'll see, if I stand this way and I take off this strap,
you're still up there.
Barely moved, right?
Yeah.
Because my support is all coming from the band. Yep.
I love that. I'm like looking at mine. I'm like, mine's closer to my elbow, but
it's harder when you're sitting. You can't really tell. When you're sitting. So then your other question you had about the underwire
Yes.
In general, when people say their underwire is hitting in their armpit, it's actually up here. It's very rare for it to be like up here.
Okay.
If it's way back here and truly up in your armpit, we tend to see that on someone who's like a GH cup and 5'1".
Okay.
You have someone who's like truly very short in the torso, petite in the torso, with a very large breast.
Okay.
So that's like a sort of particular fit issue. And then you're looking at kind of different brands and you're matchmaking the different style of bra to the body. But for most people, when they say the wire is hitting in their armpit, it's actually usually too far forward. You need it
on
back
top
here. The cup is too small.
So end of the day, it's a fit issue and they need to go consider getting fitted.
Yeah. And I mean, the biggest, those are the two most common things we see: bands that are too big and cups that are too small.
Yeah, I was guilty of that. I was wearing a 40D.
Oh gosh.
Before I was wearing a 34. Now I'm a 34G. So major difference.
Crazy.
And I guess, so I have two more questions. One is, can I figure this all out on my own at home?
Not really. And this is where, I've thought a lot about this. I've thought a lot about this for years as a business owner, but now as a business owner who legally had to close our business, how do we move this mobile? It's not, bra fitting is not a DIY sport. It is, we bra fitters are matchmakers. We are looking at a very, very extensive inventory in our physical space, and then a sort of mental repository of all the different types of bodies we've ever seen. And we're working together to find something that's going to work for you. And then it's trial and error. So it's, I'm going to put this one bra on you first based on how this fits you. I'm going to bring in more things that work for you.
Right. It's truly, I mean, I've said this so many times, and you gals know I advocate like no other to go and get fitted. It is a professional skill. You can read all the blogs. You can do all the online quizzes. You can tape out your tape measure until it snaps in half, but nothing will ever replicate an in-person fitting experience.
I totally agree.
Like you and I could literally, we could take our measurements and we could be identical, and the bras that would work best for us might be two opposite. So my best advice is don't give up hope. Obviously we're all in our homes right now. So when it is safe to go outside, I like to recommend people, if they have a business trip coming up or a vacation coming up, or if a store is a couple hours away, making it a date or making it a girls trip, or just taking a little bit of extra effort. And I know, it's definitely not the most convenient thing, but once and I know my gals who are in the Properly Fitting Bra Club can attest to that. If any of you are here, I want to see and know, but it truly, everything changes, right? It totally does.
Yeah. And I mean, we've had people, like we have customers. I had this delightful gal a few years ago. She came through Buffalo on a trip. She had a mission to visit every Major League Baseball park in the country.
Oh, wow.
Or in the North America, I guess. They were headed to Toronto. They ended up doing an overnight in Buffalo. She stopped in, shopped with us. And to this day, we have been sending her bras. So most boutiques are going to keep your size information on file, and are going to be more than happy to work with you remotely after an initial fitting.
I love that. I love that so much. Okay, now really quickly, this is a question I've actually been getting a lot. I'm hoping you can help me here. A lot of people have been asking, is it bad or is it wrong? A lot of these questions to either sleep in a bra, to not sleep in a bra. Does it ruin my boobs and my breast tissue to sleep in a bra, to not sleep in a bra? Lots of questions around sleeping in a bra, not sleeping in a bra. Is it bad? Is it good? What's the deal? Because I just let them hang loose.
I do too. But I know people who don't. So it really just has to do with what you're comfortable with. So when it comes to lounging around the house, I prefer to have something on. So that's where I reach for sort of my more structured bralettes and things. I don't sleep in anything, but I know there's some people who feel more comfortable doing so. Is it going to make your breast saggy to not sleep in it? No. Like,
okay.
You
heard it here.
It's genetics. So, and I cannot tell you the number of women who I've had in my fitting room, especially sort of I don't know, my like 30s, 40s who are like, oh my gosh, my boobs are sagging. And I was like, well, have you noticed your forehead? Because it, like the wrinkles don't stop here. They go all the way down. So it's just our skin loses elasticity over time. So that does, yes, that does affect the breast. It is totally genetic in your genetic makeup. And I am the first one to say your sister, like my sister, who looks nearly identical to me, our breasts are night and day different. So you don't need to sleep in a bralette. Long story short, there are a few plastic surgeons who I've run into who really suggest it for their augmentation clients.
Okay.
But then I have other plastic surgeons who I've consulted with who say, nope, doesn't make a difference.
Okay. And what about if you're stuck inside this quarantine, not wearing a bra for 3 weeks? Will that affect anyone?
No. No, but I have seen a thing. Occasionally put on your pants to make sure your pants still fit. Just don't. We don't want to like wake up in 3 weeks and be like, oh, I didn't realize I ate all of the Girl Scout cookies. Like,
but if you did, no judgments.
No judgment.
All good.
But exercise is like my lifeblood right now. So
I wish I could be as motivated as you. I just want to hop back to what's the best way to find a store? I mean, for me, I've literally helped people by just searching their zip code and local specialty shop or bra fitting shop into Google. I don't know if you have any other tips on finding.
No. So that's definitely what I would recommend. That's what I do is I Google search a city and bra fitting. And there are brands, most of the really good fit brands will have store finders through their website. So that's definitely a way. But if you don't even know a brand to start with, just Google bra fitting in your city. I am more than happy. I've done this on your threads before, but if people reach out to you or message us and say, hi, I live in wherever, and I'm looking to find a shop. We know of a lot of shops in different places.
Awesome.
But I can also search for that, and based on the brands they carry, say, yes, this is something reputable, or no, it's not.
Okay, perfect. So that's a great resource. Because I know I use, one of my favorite brands is Alomi, but a store like yours wouldn't come up on that locator. So I know that like it's kind of hard, but you can find it. They are out there. You just have to try a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, bra fitting in a city, that's going to get you like most of the way.
For sure. So again, making it a day trip with a girlfriend, or planning it around your next family vacation or business trip, staying an extra day or an hour or whatever, and just making the time. Might not be the most convenient, but it will be the most worthwhile, hopefully.
It is. It's a good investment.
And again, it really is a trial and error experience. So if you didn't have the best first fit experience, try again, and I think that's something I try to reiterate is, unfortunately, I can't guarantee everyone's experiences, but all I can do is just encourage you to keep trying and don't give up hope. There is a style out there for you. Maybe you just haven't found it yet.
It is, and it might be different than what you see online. So one of the things that we sometimes find is people come in and they'll say, my friend has this bra and it's so cute. Can I have that one too? That is not, it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah. Okay. What about maternity bras?
Yeah.
When do I get fitted? While pregnant? Do I get fitted during nursing? Do I get fitted after nursing? Like, what's the deal? Obviously, bodies change a lot during the pregnancy time. Can you just kind of touch on all of that? And if anyone else has any questions, I'll make sure I'm reading through so I can ask.
Sure. I stopped seeing the questions. So.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It froze a long time ago.
Okay.
So in terms of nursing, or in terms of pregnancy, our general guidance is that the kind of the norm is to go up 1 band size and 2 cup sizes during pregnancy. And so I'm a 34D now, what that would look like on me is I would go from a 34 to a 36, and I would go from a 34D to a 36D to a 36E. So I know that like bra fitting math is a little complicated, but so that's sort of basic guideline. There's no guarantees on anything, but I find in general that you're looking at like a 30-pound weight gain. I ate all of the cookies. I went up so much more than that because I gained more weight than that. And so there's nothing really, we always do our best, and we have some fit guidelines that when it comes to pregnancy. So in general, for a non-pregnant woman, we always recommend that you buy your bras on the loosest or the middle hook, right? So the loosest, so that you can make it tighter as the bra stretches out.
Okay.
For a pregnant woman, we want you to buy your bras on the tightest hook so that as your rib cage expands, you have room to make the bra looser around. Okay. You also want to buy with room at the top of the cup. And something, we recommend cups with some give in them. So if you're looking at a smaller bust foam cup, a spacer fabric is actually really great because it has some give. And then in a larger bust, something with a stretch lace on top. Most of the change in breast size is hormonal and happens during the first trimester. So it is before, one of the first things for me that I felt the first time I got pregnant was my boobs were so sensitive. It was that like tenderness, like a really intense pre-period breast tenderness for me. Okay. But we see a lot of that change in breast size happen in the first trimester.
So is it best to come get fitted after the first trimester? Like how does that, or before?
We see most women towards the end of the first trimester when they've just like given up. They're like, I'm so uncomfortable. Don't wait until you're so uncomfortable. Like there are so many things that are uncomfortable through pregnancy. If you can get a bra that fits and makes you feel better, do it. So in terms of quantity, minimum of 2 bras to get you through your pregnancy. If you know you're in it for more than 1 kid and you can do like 3 or 4, do it. Because after your pregnancy, you're going to stick them in a bin. Right. Another thing that's kind of counterintuitive is the rib cage expansion is.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So when you get pregnant, your body releases a hormone called relaxin, and that relaxes your joints. And basically what it does is it allows your rib cage to open up to accommodate the rise in your uterus. And it's in the first trimester. So your rib cage gets bigger like right away. On the flip side, your rib cage goes down within 4 to 6 weeks after giving birth.
I actually did know that because my sister-in-law I brought in to get fitted, and a couple weeks later the band was too big, and I was like, what the heck, you just got fitted, and I didn't know about the rib
so
cage.
It changes. And relaxin's different for everyone. Some women, they actually don't see that reduction in their rib cage until after they stop nursing. Okay. So in theory, you can have bras that fit you during pregnancy, separate bras that fit you during nursing, and then bras that fit you when you're neither. Okay. It doesn't really make sense to have bras that fit you when you're nursing or when you're pregnant and you're nursing.
Someone just said, do you recommend once you're finding a good bra just to buy the same bra in a bunch of different style, or a bunch of the same bra a bunch of times, or trying different styles?
I recommend different styles because I think we tend to have different styles of clothing. Okay. And so you're going to want sort of different, I so wish I could see the comments. So you're going to want like different bras that work with different things, right? So you're going to want something that has a plunge neckline that works with a wrap dress, but then you want that really nice full coverage nude t-shirt bra. And then you want a demi for that open square neck top. And like, you want different things. If you are like a type A and it just brings you joy to have the same bra in 6 colors, that's fine. Do it. But that's definitely not our norm.
Right. Okay. That's fair. Now, so somebody just finished nursing or they're about to finish nursing. What do you recommend? Oh no, Lisa Day left. Let's get her back in here. Sorry, technical difficulties.
I think it cuts off after some time.
Oh, okay. Well, we better like wrap this show up.
Okay, but now I can see the comments again.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So nursing, what do we recommend? So it depends on how long you nursed and how much weight you intend to lose after that. So if you had a baby and you nursed for 6 months and you're still carrying 15, 20 pounds of extra pregnancy weight that you intend to take off, wait a bit,
Okay.
Right? But if you nursed for 18 months and you're down at your pre-pregnancy weight or lower, we often see, then don't wait, then you're fine. So,
Okay.
but it's, and the other thing too, if you stop nursing, when you stop nursing, if you're still seeing like pretty significant size fluctuations in your breast between feedings,
Okay.
you probably want to wait longer.
Okay. That's great to know. People who are watching, we are going to wrap this up soon. So if you have any questions that we haven't hit, definitely comment them in now so we can try to get them and see them before we wrap this up. I do have a couple like more rapid fire, quick yes and no questions. They might not really be quick yes or no because I feel like.
Okay, I'll try.
But if you want to elaborate, feel free. Don't feel like you have to hold it in. Do the number of clasps matter? Somebody said they bought a bra with 5 clasps, but all their other bras are 2 clasps.
It depends on the construction of the bra. So like I said, that there are some bras that have this like narrower U-shaped style. Those are going to always have fewer clasps. If the bra is advertising that it has more clasps and therefore gives more support, put it back. Put it back. That's like not a thing. So it depends on the construction. Anything that has any convertibility to strapless and halter is going to have more clasps.
Okay, so is there such thing as a minimizer bra?
A minimizer is a maximizer. So what a traditional definition of a minimizer is, it flattens the appearance of the breast so that from the profile. So it goes like this. It's going to put more breast tissue lower and wider. Some people like that aesthetic. We find that most people don't.
Okay. I always thought that like there was no such thing. I thought it was like all marketing. So at least there are designated. Okay.
It is. Okay. It tends to be a wider U-shaped wire, and it puts more of the breast tissue farther back and lower to reduce the profile. Yeah.
Perfect. True or false? Asking the audience this one. You get your support from the band, not the straps. True or false? Obviously, we know it's true. Somebody just said, I have never been comfortable with underwire. I've only worn wire-free. Is it just that I haven't found the right underwire bra, or what?
It depends on the, so one of our sales reps is one of the people answering the question. So she's
nice.
On it.
Hi.
It depends on the unique situation, but it's very likely that it is a fit issue. If that wire is coming all the way around, sitting like a picture frame flat against the rib cage, it should not be uncomfortable. There are exceptions to that we see having to do with rib cage construction. So if someone has a protruding rib or a particular sort of nuance of their anatomy, it is something we've seen before, but it is uncommon. It usually is a fit issue.
So encourage you to go and get fitted again.
Yeah,
Okay, and another one quickly just reminded me, some people are saying I got fitted, but I got home and I cannot wait to take the bras off. They're so uncomfortable. Is there a break-in period? What does it mean it didn't fit? Does it mean the fitter was wrong? Like, what does that all mean?
So a lot of it is, I don't know if it's a break-in period as much as it's just like, it's a different sensation on your body to get used to. So, I recently started spinning a lot. My butt hurt so badly for the first week or two, and I don't even notice it now when I get on the bike.
Your analogies are on point, like always so on point. Okay.
So, but it also, you just, it feels different. And so I tell people, like, maybe for a couple weeks, you're going to be like, oh, I'm noticing this. And then all of a sudden you don't really notice it anymore.
Yeah. So it's just kind of getting, I will say, I mean, when you're wearing your band so big, you're not used to having that wire lay flat. So it is a different sensation, but it shouldn't be like making you cry like in agony.
No. It shouldn't hurt at all. It should feel like a different sensation. We always say your band should feel snug, comfortably snug, not uncomfortably tight.
Okay. I'm going to let one more opportunity for questions because there is a little bit of a lag here, and I'm going to do one final question to you and the audience. First, I'll ask the audience, True or false? You should never wash your bras. If you've been around here for a while, I expect you to know the answer. And then another question. Let's see. It's so weird that there's a lag here. All right, the answers are coming in. Good. The answer is false. You should be washing your bras after every or every other wear. Right? Can you elaborate quickly on that?
Yeah, so the support that you get from a bra, as we've talked about ad nauseum, comes from your band. Your band is made of lycra, which is a porous tubular fiber. Those pores get clogged with skin oils and lotion and sweat, and that mechanically stretches out the fibers in the bra. So the more often you wash them, the better that they will maintain that elasticity and bounce back and give you the snugness in the band. What you wash it in also makes a big difference. So a traditional detergent is designed for spun fibers like cotton. It gets gunk off. It doesn't extract anything out of the pores. So the fabric washes that we recommend, and I know Carolyn put up a blog post a couple days ago or weeks ago, but they're like a Biore pore strip, and they like bind to the gunk and pull it out of the pores. They're like a magnet.
So
right?
satisfying.
Yeah, so they draw it out of the pores. So best thing for anything with a high lycra content, swimsuits, workout gear, tech fibers, anything like that.
I love that. I'm so proud of you gals. You all answered that question right.
Yes.
So my last question, and I don't know if you noticed, but I got a little pajama top on here for you.
Love it.
So this is from Leasing Day. If you are not in the Buffalo area, can I still shop and support Leasing Day? And if so, where can I find you, and what can I get?
Friend keeps messaging her, and so yes, absolutely, and we would so appreciate it. So we are Leasing Day. We are a single location, independently owned small business in Buffalo, New York, and our website is leasingday.com. Also, Carolyn I'm sure it'll be linked out here too. Yes, you can for sure. We don't really we prefer to do bra sales for people who we fit before, but we have all sorts of like pajamas, faux leather leggings. What?
Yes.
Bralettes are flying out right now. We are definitely one of the businesses that is very firsthand feeling the effects of quarantine and coronavirus and all those things. So every little bit makes a huge difference, and we'd love to find some new friends.
I love that. And another thing you said you'd be willing to do is if people are having severe fit issues and they don't know, that you would be willing to accept emails or pictures in your messages to try to help and problem solve some fit issues. I try to help my best, but I often end up texting you whether or not it fits or not. So
yeah, for sure. I was hoping to put up some content, either I'm not sure if it's going to be a blog format or Instagram or what, but if people would want to send me pictures of like, I don't know why this doesn't fit.
Okay.
And if that's something that we can share, whether we cut your head off or like crop your head out or not, we are happy. I'd love to do that. And it kind of help more people see, what does it look like when a wire doesn't fit? What does it look like when the band is riding up in the back? So for sure. I just saw one question. I wish you had plus size.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That is a really, really frequent question that we get is, do you carry plus size bras? There's no such thing. It is not, there's no divide in the size spectrum. We just keep going. So we go from a 30 to a 46 and an A to a J. We don't treat you or call you anything different if you're a 32A or a 46H. You're just a girl to us. Preach. And we love you. And we are here to help you no matter what size you wear, and you can feel comfortable no matter what size you wear. And it's another thing we hear all the time. People are like, oh, if my boobs were smaller, it would be easier. It's totally a grass is greener conundrum. Yeah. Because I have small busted gals who are like, oh my God, you can see the lip on the top of my bra all the time. I hate it. And they get a good bra and they're like, oh my gosh, I never knew.
Yeah.
So
I love that. So go get fitted, whether you're smaller in size or larger in size, it doesn't matter. It's just as important, just as life-changing, as like I like to say.
Yes, for sure.
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah. Yes, plane tickets are cheap, and you should all fly up to Buffalo right now.
When it's safe to do so.
I guess my one little thing I want to add on, there were a few things that came up about hormonal changes, about fluctuations within the month or pregnancy. We all have different hormonal changes throughout the course of our life as women. And one of the common misconceptions is that you are going to be the same size from the time you're in high school to the time when you go off into the world. You're not. Your bra sizes are going to change all the time. Any hormonal changes. So the ones that we really look at are puberty, any sort of changes in birth control, any weight fluctuations up or down, pregnancy, nursing, menopause. Menopause is a thing that nobody talks about. In it, you will change your bra size. 100%. Your friends don't talk about it. Your gynecologist doesn't talk about it. You will change in bra size. And that is probably our top customer, is women coming to us in their late 40s, early 50s, being like, I don't understand why my body is different. So honoring that your body is accepting that there are things that are going to change throughout the course of your life. I was a 32 band for years. And now, I don't know what I did differently. 2 years ago, no children involved, I went to a 34. I think I did a lot of pull-ups, but then I stopped doing pull-ups, and I'm still a 34. So who knows?
Oh, well, thank you.